Shedeur Sanders set to make his first start in the NFL Week 12. I think this is a great thing. He's going to be playing, starting for the Cleveland Browns against the Las Vegas Raiders. They're in Las Vegas, and I think that this is a good start for him to come into the league and show what he really got. Last week, he played just because Dylan Gabriel got injured in the middle of the game, and they just put him in there. But I think that when you are actually a starter, you get a chance to prepare all week, and I think he'll look different than when he did in that game with the Browns, and that loss that he had. So just looking back at the draft, my first initial opinion of the draft was that I thought that he should have been the second quarterback taken overall. It was initially between him and Cam Ward, my personal opinion, but I'm not a scout, so I don't really know all the ins and outs of it. I just know that when he played at Colorado, he was looking pretty good. He didn't have a good offensive line. He had some good perimeter players. They didn't really have that much of a defense, but what he showed in college was that he was able to take a beating, like physically, like getting sacked all the time, and still able to, make plays down the field and lead his team to some good victories. So that's what I saw in college. I was proven to be wrong. I thought Cam Ward was going to be the first overall taken quarterback, and that was right. But I thought that he'd be the second quarterback. Looking so far in the league, I think that Jackson Dart was the correct pick for the Giants. I think that he is the second best quarterback in this draft. Coming out, the scouts said that this wasn't really a great quarterback draft, but we'll see over time. Sometimes the scouts can be proven wrong depending on how good the players play. But just looking at overall, Cam Ward is the best quarterback in my opinion, and then Jackson Dart is number 2. I would follow that up with Shedeur Sanders at number 3, but we'll see. Sometimes the drafts get it wrong all the time. Tom Brady was selected in the 6th round. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. So, they get it wrong all the time. So, coming into this week, I think that, going back to the draft, the main reason why I think that he fell in the draft was more so the stuff off the field and his persona, who he was as a person, more so than his play on the field. I think that he is probably the most polarizing person in this 2025 NFL draft that just passed. So, you either loved him or you hated him. And I think that the stuff that came along with off the field, meaning like his persona, his fame that he had, kind of made him drop more so in his attitude, some of his cockiness, if you want to call it that, or arrogance. Even though I think it's more so confidence than arrogance, but I think that's part of the reason why he dropped in the draft. I don't think some of the people that were selected before him were. I don't want to say anything about it, but I just think that he should have been the second overall quarterback selected. Even though I was wrong, I think Jackson is probably the second best quarterback, but I think he should have at least top 3. First round or second round at the latest, but it didn't happen. Just going back, looking at it, it was 13 overall quarterbacks selected in the draft. It was 5 quarterbacks selected before him. Just going down the list, you had Cam Ward, obviously number 1 overall. Jackson Dart, he went to the Giants, number 25, first round, 25 overall. Number 3, he had Tyler Scholl, who was a Saints quarterback. He didn't play this year until it looked too bad for their starter, so they put him in. So we'll see how he turns out. Saints don't really have much of a team, so you can't really judge it right now. But Tyler Scholl with the Saints was selected the 40th overall pick in the 2nd round. Then you had Jalen Milroe with the Seahawks. I'm sorry, he was selected in the 3rd round, 92 overall. We'll see how that turns out. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, actual 2 rookies on the team this year. So Dylan Gabriel selected in the 3rd round, 94th overall. He hasn't really looked too good, but the Browns don't really have much on offense. So, but I will say that their defense should be something that holds them in the game enough to let the quarterback do bare minimum. Like, you should only have to score 15, 20 points per game because Myles Garrett and the defense is going to keep them in the game. So, anyway, and then Shedeur Sanders was selected in the 5th round, 144th overall. And in the 6th round, you had 5 quarterbacks. They went on a little spree. 7th round, you had 2 quarterbacks. Quinn Ewers from the Texas team that was really good in college. He actually got selected. He was the last quarterback selected in this draft. So that tells you where the quarterback class is. But going back to Shedeur Sanders making his first start, I personally think that he's going to do good in the NFL. And like I said, his game last week should be an indicator of his future in the NFL, even though it didn't really look too good. But I think, like I said before, when you get thrown into the middle of a game, it's harder for you to adjust because, for one, he wasn't taking first team reps. But number 2, the game plan wasn't for you. And 3, obviously, he's a rookie. So, all those things weigh in. I'm not going to put that rookie excuse on him for this week. I do expect big things from Shedeur Sanders in general. So I think that this game against the Raiders, like I said, it's going to be a good game for him to come into the league. It's a good game for him to get his feet wet. I'm going to make a prediction. I think that Shedeur is going to at least have 2 touchdowns in the game. Either running, like 1 running, 1 passing. That's my prediction, but it might be 2 passing, 2 running. You never know. But that's how I think for this first game. I don't think he's going to look nearly as bad as he did in the first game. So that's my prediction. I also think that the Cleveland Browns are going to win the game. So I'll say that also, because I don't think the Raiders are really that good of a team. The only thing that's helping them out is that they're home. So, but I think, like I said, I think the Cleveland Brown defense is going to keep them in the game. Shedeur will be able to work with like a good field, So I'm just predicting that the Browns are going to win and Shedeur is going to look good. So That's my personal opinion, and I'm excited about this upcoming game, even though, yeah, that's the reason why I'm excited about this upcoming game. So that's my prediction. Shedeur's going to look good in the game. He's going to have at least 2 touchdowns, and the Browns are going to win the game. That's my trifecta right there for you. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if you think that Shedeur struggle, if you think any of those things. But, yeah, tell me how you feeling about it.